I have been up since 2:30 thanks to kids, and I am going on nothing but about 3 hours of sleep and caffeine. But we got the top 25 list to talk about, my friends. Let's do it. I'm really excited about this list. October. And man, we've been doing this list for well over a year now, and we've got Revan to consider, and that is why we are coming right to the last day of this month. Happy Halloween to all of you, by the way. And I gave my pollsters a little extra time this month because I really wanted to make sure that they had enough time to carefully consider where Revan should be on the list, and so they felt comfortable with it by the end of this month, and so that is why we are crunch time to get you the list. And if you have any questions on how this list comes to be, it's actually not my opinion. If you're new to the top 25, it's an average of over 50 experts' opinions. Down below, I have got a description on how that comes to be. So, without any further ado, let's get to the list. Starting with number 25, we have got Darth Vader on the list. 24, Jolie Bindo. 23, Kylo Ren Unmasked. 22, Ezra Bridger. 21 is the Wampa. 20, we've got Bosk. 19, we've got Emperor Palpatine. Mother Talzin coming in at number 18. R2-D2 at number 17. Asajj Ventress in at number 16, followed by Hermit Yoda at 15. Bastila at 14. Han Solo at 13. General Kenobi in at number 12. General Kenobi. And then number 11 is BB-8. And let's digest that bottom 15, 11 through 25, and then move on to the top 10. So the first takeaway I have from this is Jolie Bindo showing up on the list. I think this has been a really exciting month for Jolie, especially those of you who like Jolie. Anyone who played KOTOR probably likes Jolie because he's just one of the more comical characters out there, even though it's kind of questionable. Should he be a Jedi? Should he not? But whatever the case is, when he first came out, he's pretty underwhelming. I mean, the revive was cool, but Jedi, weren't meta, and a lot of people were not really finding very much use for Jolie. And now with Revan in the mix, both because Jolie is a KOTOR character, an Old Republic character, and a Jedi, so you get that double bonus for Revan teams, but also because Jolie has that revive, he has proven himself to be a critical component of the Revan defensive set. And so I think a lot of people, pretty much anyone who's running Revan, is either running Revan with Jolie or working towards putting Jolie in there. I know that's me. I've got my Revan team in the arena right now. I'm really enjoying it right now, but the one thing that I want to do is I want to put Jolie in there for my Ezra instead. And so that is really notable. And I think Jolie, it kind of is settled, we're kind of settling into what's best for Revan. I feel like Jolie's probably going to climb on this list next month once people start, because he's really valuable in both territory wars, territory battles, and the squad arena, and raids. He's really versatile. As far as game modes are concerned, he does need to be in this Revan team, but I feel like 24 is probably underrated. And I think a lot of this is because the pollsters maybe just didn't quite realize how vital Jolie was until right towards the last couple days here when that started to become a little more clear. We're still learning what's best for Revan teams. You'll notice here as well, Bastila kind of in the same camp here, because Bastila actually went down. She was at number 8 last month, and now she is in at number 14, and a lot of people are finding Bastila to be pretty vital to those Revan teams as well. Now, this is a little bit more subjective. Some people feel like Hermit Yoda is going to be better in there rather than Bastila. I personally really like Bastila because then you get that double KOTOR bonus from both Bastila and Jolie, and you're going to be able to buff Yoda a lot and have him spread all of those buffs to the rest of the team. Very, very effective. So I feel like Bastila is probably going to climb as well as people settle into what is the best Revan team. Han Solo is also notable. We had Han Solo in at number 16 last month. He's in at number 13 this month, and I predicted that Han Solo would actually climb on this list because of Chewbacca. But as soon as you add Chewbacca into the mix, Han Solo just became that much more usable and that much more annoying, really. I know my brother, the Senate, talks all the time that the most annoying team he faces in his shard is, is a guy who's running CLS, Han Solo, and Chewbacca together because there's so much DPS just flying at your face. And then the last character I want to talk about in this set of this month's top 25 is General Kenobi. I'm surprised General Kenobi didn't climb a bit because General Kenobi stayed the same. He was at number 12 last month. He's at number 12 this month. And I feel like General Kenobi's use got another boost with Revan coming in to the mix. A lot of people are running Revan with General Kenobi. So to me, his usability last month versus this month is increased, both in territory battles, territory wars, even raids, and especially in the squad arena. And so I feel like General Kenobi, based on last month's poll, probably needs to jump a few spots. Not a lot, but I feel like he's a bit underrated this month. All right, now let's break down the top 10. Will Thrawn remain number 1, or will Revan be able to dethrone him? You will find out here in a few seconds. Starting with number 10, Chewbacca coming in at number 10. We've got Enfys Nest coming in at number 9. Grandmaster Yoda in at number 8. Darth Sion in at number 7. Rey Jedi Training in at number 6. Her lowest ranking yet. And then number 5 is Commander Luke Skywalker, followed by Darth Nihilus in at number 4. Darth Traya in at number 3. Grand Admiral Thrawn is number 2. And Jedi Knight Revan comes in at number 1. So, of course, starting this off by discussing Jedi Knight Revan. This is our first character to debut in at number 1 in their first month considered since Commander Luke Skywalker did it in August of 2017. That's a big deal, and the pollsters are definitely giving Revan quite a bit of love on this poll. Now, something that I also really want to stress with this, the pollsters definitely took this rating very seriously, and there are a lot of pollsters in there who are just huge fans of Grand Admiral Thrawn and really feel like Thrawn has been the best character in the game. It was going to take a lot to convince them that somebody else deserved that spot. And so I think it's impressive that Revan was able to do that here in just a few weeks of his release. Look, Revan is the best character in this game, and I know a lot of you are going to say I'm biased, and yeah, I am biased, but hey, look, 50 other people agree with me. And so it's, to me, it makes sense. And I really do, if I take a step back and try not to be biased, I do think that they got this right. Look at what Revan's able to do all around. This isn't just about squad arena. I stress that every month with my pollsters. This is not a squad arena list. And I think that one of the driving factors in Revan getting to the top of this list was what he was able to do in raids. A lot of people have posted some really impressive raid damage scores, especially in phase 2 of the heroic Sith raid. He's also able to just really make quick work of the heroic tank guild raid as well. And so he's got that raid viability. His use in territory wars is going to be indisputable. I mean, he's probably the best defensive team in territory wars now. A lot of guilds are really struggling to find ways to counter Revan without using their own Revans. Like, how many Revans do you have at your disposal, if any? That is going to be very important. And then obviously squad arena. That right now, the reason why a lot of the videos that we are pumping out right now are Revan counter videos is because this is the hardest team to beat in the game, especially when you pair Revan with Jolie Bindo, Yoda, a lot of DPS coming at you, plus the revives. Very hard to manage, along with the speed and all of the utility that Revan brings to the table. So Revan coming in at number 1. Now, it's also notable to me, I think Yoda is really interesting in this list because he came up a couple spots, and to me, I feel like Yoda's going to climb even more on this list next month, because if you are facing Revan teams that are hard to beat, Yoda is arguably more threatening than Revan is in those teams, especially if he is modded properly. If he's got enough offense on him, Yoda is going to take so many turns, and he is going to just pulverize your team with DPS, and it's very, very difficult to manage Yoda if you're not thinking through it first. And so I think Yoda might be a bit underrated at number 8. And then before we close this out, we can't go on without discussing Chewbacca at number 10. This is also really impressive that Chewbacca is showing up in the top 10 his first month in consideration, because he was not considered in last month's list because he was too fresh. Revan is kind of overshadowing, I think, what Chewbacca was able to pull off and the respect that Chewbacca is given by the pollsters. Chewbacca has been really, really solid. He's been really great in raids, especially in the Chex Mix team for Phase 3 of the Heroic Sith raid. Even though he's not necessarily boosting those damage numbers a ton, he removed the RNG component in many ways with that team and makes it a lot more quality of life, which to me is more notable than damage, because I'm all about that quality of life rating. I do not like restarting 50,000 times to get the best score. That's just not how I like to play this game. And so thank you, Chewbacca, for that. And then also Chewbacca is kind of an already existing built-in counter we have to Revan teams. A lot of the guys in my shard in particular are using a Commander Luke Skywalker Han Solo Chewbacca set with a couple other variants to most successfully burn through my own Revan team and other Revan teams in the shard, and that actually seems to be maybe the best counter, even over the Revan mirror match, which can be challenging. I'm actually making a video on that. So Chewbacca, very deserving of that spot. Also very notable that he was able to make it into the top 10. All right, my friends, what are some of your thoughts about this month's top 25 list? What did the pollsters get right? What did they get wrong? And what is your list? Go ahead, share your list in the comments as well, at least your top 10. Who do you think are the best 10 characters in this game? If you did like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and comment on it. Share your thoughts. Of course, as always, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so and turn notifications on so you can be the first to know when I'm posting new content. Thank you so much for the support, my friends, and as always, my brothers, don't forget
my dead body. Sorry about the mess.